Hey guys, welcome back. It's Stock Pick Skip. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. So I want to get in today to my very first video, and more importantly, I want to get into what my biggest holding is, and I think it's apropos for this video. Since it's my first one, I might as well tell you what my biggest holding is. I'm not going to tell you every single stock. Maybe eventually, maybe we'll get to that. But for right now, the big portion of my portfolio is Tencent Holding Limited, ticker symbol TCHEY. Right now it's trading for $65.50. Now, just to get into why I like this company, we can look at the price to earnings ratio. That's the first thing I really look on anything, is what's the valuation in the market. I think it's really overvalued right now, but I'd still buy it because it's basically like an Amazon. It's basically like a Facebook and Apple. It's the only difference is it's a Chinese company. And for me, I see this stock only going up from this price. You know, you could maybe find a little bit of a better valuation in my personal opinion, which I'll get to. But like I said, if you had to buy the stock all in today, I mean, you're going to make your money. I could say without a shadow of a doubt, you're going to make your money on this. So that's the only real negative thing. Market cap huge, $624 billion, which is insane. Billion with a B, billion. A lot of money in here. I think the stock is amazing. Like I said, a little overvalued, but let's get into a couple of the things, and then we'll start getting into the financials and the valuations. And for those of you who want a better chart, because you're saying, well, that chart's going down. Well, yeah, but look at the chart, man, just from 2016 to where we're at now. What an incredible chart. And for those of you who are interested and wondering, I bought right around here on the $40 mark, and I'm right now around $39 on a cost average. So I've almost doubled my money. There is a correction coming. I can feel it. And if not, then I just make more money. So it is what it is. Let's get into the first thing that I think is the most important thing, okay? For those of you who don't know what Tencent is a company that owns a lot of different things, but they're mainly in the video game, music, and entertainment space. So for me, the big thing that I thought was just like, wow, and I heard about this a while ago, and I should have invested right when I heard it, but they have a 100% stake in Riot Games, which is League of Legends, and they own 100% of League of Legends, which to me is insane. They also own a 40% in Epic Games, which owns Fortnite and a couple other things, and Riot also owns a couple things like League of Legends Mobile Chess or League of Legends Tactics. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but basically it's a staple in the video game community. You go on Twitch, you hear esports, it all comes back to League of Legends. It's the biggest company, or it's the biggest game by far, and of course it's owned by the biggest company. League of Legends is huge, and there's millions upon millions of people who watch it. I think in 2018 or 2019 there was over 403 million concurrent viewers watching the league finals, which was incredible. Now I'd say about 90% of those people were from China and those types of areas. However, it doesn't matter. So, I mean, you can just see how big the game is. And it's basically, it's gone global and then some. I mean, it's in the roots of every game. A lot of people haven't even heard of Dota, right? Which is a Steam game. And Dota is actually what League of Legends is based off. And people haven't even heard of Dota, yet they're playing League of Legends. Well, it just shows you how big it is. So it doesn't matter if you're in North, South America, Africa, Russia, China, other different types of Asian, Southeast Asian countries. It doesn't matter. This company has basically taken over. Fortnite, another huge game. As we know, a lot of the kids are playing it. It's a battle arena game or something, or something like that. Player Unknown Battlegrounds, another 11.5% stake in that. So they also own PUBG. Now to the other ones, which I was very interested and intrigued to hear. I didn't know this until I started doing my research, but basically Ubisoft, they own a 5% stake in that, and they also own a 5% stake in Activision Blizzard, which makes World of Warcraft and those other games like that. These are really big companies, and for Tencent to have stakes in those just shows that they have their hands in all types of different video games. Not just League of Legends and Fortnite, they're also getting into the World of Warcraft and all those things. They own Grinding Gear Games, which makes Path of Exile, 80% stake, which is huge. I mean, this is more of a smaller gaming, but they had Path of Exile as one of their claims to fame. Other investments worth noting: Supercell 84.3% in that. Platinum Games and Jaeger, undisclosed investment, who knows how much they own, could be a bunch. Frontier Developments, 9% in that. Cacao, 13.5% of that, and they made the Black Desert Online, which has a lot of people who play that. I've never played it myself, but I know a lot of people who do. 1 billion in gross sales last year, and also publishes PUBG in South Korea, which is a competitive area for PUBG. They own Paradox Interactive, 5%, whatever. I'm not even really too sure about Paradox. I've never heard of them. Fat Shark, which makes Warhammer. Funcom, which I do know a lot about. Tencent's most recent purchase of 29%. Shark Mob, which was basically the new studio comprised of The Division and Hitman devs. Comprised of The Division. Sorry, the way they put it. This new studio comprised of The Division. And that's another good one that they're in, but and they own 100% of it, of course. But for me, what I found was very interesting is they're also in Discord. So Discord received $158 million in funding last year from Tencent. And Discord is for every single gamer. This is it's a channel that you go on and you can communicate with your team, but you can also use it just for discussion and a lot of different things. It's very interactive, very easy to use. You can access it anywhere, even off your phone. And a lot of people really use it. I mean, I even use Discord, and I'll be making a Discord channel soon once we have more people coming. But for them to even be involved in that, just shows you that they're making heads-up plays. Now, that's not the only games that they're in, though. They also own, which wasn't put here, okay? They own 15% in Glue Mobile Gaming, and if you haven't heard of them, they make Cooking Dash and Deer Hunter. They also have MLB Tap Sports Baseball, so they're even getting into the Major League Sports, which is crazy. Now, outside of the video games, they have a 12% stake in Snapchat. Now, I'm not big on Snapchat. I think it's great. It has a bunch of users. I think over 160 million users daily or weekly. A bunch of people on Snapchat. And even though I don't really like the company and the stock that much, the fact that they're putting their stakes into social media companies shows you that they're getting their roots in a bunch of different companies, which I think is amazing. And then they also have a 5% stake in the notorious Tesla. And how could you not have a 5% stake in Tesla? So just showing you that they're all over the board. Now, those are the video games, right? And those are just some of the different things. Now, I didn't get into the music and entertainment industry, okay? Now, for music, they own a 5% share of WMG, which is Warner Music Group, and they have a lot of huge different artists like Led Zeppelin, Tom Petty, and Cardi B. I'm sure you've heard of one of those. Led Zeppelin is someone I would be happy that you heard of, and Cardi B, it really doesn't make a difference. She's great making her sales, but it's not music I prefer. But she's talented in that regard, so good for her. And they also own 9.1% in the music streaming leader Spotify. So they even have basically a 10% stake in Spotify. And Spotify is just getting bigger by the second, by the moment, especially with these big deals with Joe Rogan and other big podcast people. And they're pretty much taking over the music streaming space. So they're even in that. And on top of that, they own a 10% in Universal Music Group. And Universal is about the same size as Warner Music Group. So, I mean, they're two of the big three companies in terms of that. And the third one is Sony Music Group, which I wouldn't even be surprised if they got their hands in Sony as well. So they've got a lot of hands in a lot of different things. So whether it's the entertainment industry, the music industry, or all of the different video games, or even some social media things like Snapchat or Tesla, they're kind of pretty much everywhere. So going back here to the chart, okay, for those of you who really just want to get to the nitty gritty here, like I said, I bought in around 40 on average, and that's where I'm at, right around here, around the $40 mark. Now, right now, I still don't believe it's overvalued, and if I had to buy in right now, I wouldn't lose any sleep, but I do think you can maybe get a better valuation. But once again, do your homework and don't sit there and just wait for that value that never comes, because if you miss out maybe on $5, $10 in value because you were waiting, but then all of a sudden the stock goes up to $100, I mean, you're losing money for that waiting game, and it's very hard to time the market. For those of you who do, kudos, but for me, I don't try to play trading. I do trade here and there. I'll make day trades, I'll make short-term trades, and we'll get into those later. But Tencent for me is not a short-term trade because I see them as a long-term company. They're like an Amazon, they're like a Facebook, they're like a Walmart, even though Walmart's kind of getting beat out by Amazon, but basically they're like an Apple basically of China. And with the backing of the Chinese government behind them, they're going to make sure that this conglomerate, this behemoth, keeps up, because they're in competition with the US. They want to make sure that they have companies that are on par or eventually even surpassing American companies. companies. So companies like Tencent are companies that they need to get behind, and they are behind. So they've got the government backing, they've got the people backing, and like I said, they're international, they're global, they have their hands and stakes in everywhere. So for me, anything around the $60 to $55 mark is around where support's at. Like right around here is where around support's at, but I mean, it could go lower, it usually does, but this is on average where the support is right now. So anywhere around that is a great value buy, and anything under that, I think you're getting a great deal. Now, if you can get lucky and wait between the 50, 40, let alone in this $35 mark, I mean, you're gonna be making so much money, potentially, but I put all of my hope and dreams and aspirations into this. I believe in this company. I really do believe in this company. So for me, if you want to get into this, I think a good buying would be around the $55, $60. I think that'd be a great buying opportunity. If you really want to wait, maybe wait till it gets around 50, 45, but there's a chance that it never even goes to those levels again. It might, but I would say no. Now, a lot of you are saying, oh, well, what about the pandemic, and what about this, and market crashes and stuff. Now, that happens, market crashes happen, and they more follow on China's end, okay? But even when the pandemic hit, and it started in China, right? They were right around here, okay? So, it started like November, December, right? They just completely crushed it during all of the pandemic, during the Q4 of 2019 and Q1 and Q2 of 2020. They just killed it in terms of stock price, and they just continued to beat on earnings, and they continued to make their money. So when you go here to analysis, okay, you can see how many people really believe in this company, okay? The recommendation trends are saying just a strong buy or a buy. There's no holds, there's no underperforms, there's no sells. They're just a strong buy and buy. Now, this is what's crazy to me. The recommendation rating is a strong buy of 1.3. That is almost unheard of. I mean, pretty much everyone is saying this is a strong buy. And this is crazy too. The analyst price target, right now it's at $65. They're saying this could go all the way up within the next year or two to around $470. The low projection's around $378. So there is so much investor hype behind this, but it just hasn't reflected in the stock price yet though. So they believe in the company, and sure, the price to earnings ratio is pretty high, but for what the momentum and where this company's at, this company could make a lot of money, and you could pretty much maybe even 5 to 10x your money on this investment within the next few years. And with the next 5 or 10 years, this company is going to be at a huge market cap. I mean, I see this company going past $1 trillion market cap very easily. So there's a lot of good stuff on that company. Now, going back to the summary here, beating earnings, and this is what I think was just so crazy. Even in Q4, Q1, and Q2, 2019 and 2020, right? Those were the COVID central times where we weren't sure what was happening with COVID, what was going to go up or down, and they just crushed it. They continued to crush it in earnings, in revenue, and everything, and even in the stock shares, which just shows you how good this company is. Now, for those of you who are like, well, duh, of course that company would be. I know, but it's still, regardless, I mean, a lot of times you expect things to not, and the reason you would expect them to beat the company, to beat the market, and to beat the COVID quarters was mainly because of the fact that they're a company that still can generate money even when people are afraid to do things, right? If you're at home, you're going to listen to music. They own Spotify. They're in the music things. You're going to watch entertainment. You're going to play video games. Those are still things that are going to happen regardless of where the pandemic's at. So they're getting in this technological space and putting their money in those type of things that are just going to continue on. So as people, kind of go to more remote working, and that's why we've seen Zooms and teledocs taking off, this is kind of that company in that space. I just think that although they do believe in the company, I feel like Wall Street hasn't really got on to how good Tencent is. And I just think this company is going to keep on making money. So it's one of these great companies that I really believe in. Once again, just to go back, if you are looking in on getting in this company, I'd say $55, $60 is a good buy-in, and anything under the $50, I think you're just going to double, if not triple your money. And if it ever does get down to these levels, this is where I'm selling out stocks to get into Tencent, because I believe in Tencent that much. So anyways, tell me what you guys think. Tell me if this is a stock you'd like to buy. If you're interested, maybe you'll look into it more. Maybe you don't like it. I have heard some negative things on it saying, hey, with the tensions between the US and China, I'm not sure if I want to, go into this company. And I completely understand there are some tensions, at least trade war tensions that are happening. There could be a ban on it. I really doubt it. And even if there is, though, even if there was a global ban and it was just in China, I would still invest in this company, because this company is going to make money regardless of where it's at. So they just get there quicker to that end goal if they're able to keep on going globally. So I think even trade tensions between US and China and even potential bans down the road aren't really going to affect it. I just think this company is going to keep on going. And hopefully that doesn't happen, because yes, that's going to have short-term hurt and they're not going to make as much revenue over time. But this company, they know how to make money, and with the stakes and with everything that they're in, I believe in this company. So once again, this is Tencent, ticker symbol TCEHY, and my name is StockPickSkip. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. If you really liked it, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. That's going to really help the channel. We're just getting started. And let me know if there's things that I need to work on, if there's things you want me to cover, videos that you want me to make, because I'm here for you guys. I mean, I'm not just doing this just to talk to a camera. I want to get a community going, and I want to make sure that, you know, I'm putting out this information for you guys. Now, we will do more in-depth financial analysis and all that stuff later on. We'll go, you know, into the QE10s and all these different things. But I really do believe in this company. And once again, this is Tencent Holding. My name is StockPickSkip. Thank you guys for joining me. Really appreciate it.